A crisis is quietly but powerfully unfolding across America's heartland, threatening the very foundation of rural life and the nation's agricultural legacy. Ships packed with American wheat, once symbols of abundance and prosperity, are now being turned away from ports around the globe, left waiting offshore with nowhere to go. Headlines scream, U.S. wheat rejected, global buyers walk away. The world is watching, and the message is clear: something has changed. For generations, American farmers have fed the world, their hard work woven into the fabric of global food security. Now, for the first time in living memory, the world is saying no. The wheat itself is as good as ever, golden, nutritious, and plentiful. But the problem isn't the crop. The problem is trust, rooted in outdated paper-based systems that no longer meet the world's expectations. American farmers now stare at silos overflowing with grain they cannot sell, their livelihoods and futures hanging in the balance. The news hit hard in farming communities from Kansas to North Dakota, where every harvest is a lifeline and every sale supports entire towns. Shipments to the Philippines and the EU were among the first to be rejected, sending shockwaves through the industry. Soon, South Korea, Mexico, and other key buyers followed suit, closing their doors to American wheat and seeking alternatives elsewhere. The world no longer trusts America's paper documentation. As global trade moves rapidly to digital systems, America's reliance on tradition has left it behind. This is more than a logistical headache. It's a direct challenge to America's identity as a food superpower, and a blow to its reputation for reliability. American wheat once meant quality and trustworthiness. Now that reputation is under serious threat, and buyers are questioning what those words really mean. Our competitors, especially Canada, invested early in technology, digital tracking, real-time quality monitoring, while we clung to tradition and paper trails. The shockwaves are spreading through the entire supply chain, from bustling ports to the quiet fields of rural farms, affecting everyone from truck drivers to mill workers. Farmers who did everything right, who planted, tended, and harvested with care, are now being punished for a system they didn't create and cannot control. The global market, once a source of prosperity and hope, is now a source of anxiety and fear for American producers. The unwanted harvest of 2025 stands as a stark symbol of a nation that took its agricultural leadership for granted, believing its dominance would last forever. The crisis isn't about the wheat itself, it's about a system that failed to keep up with a rapidly changing world, and the consequences of that failure. America's leadership in agriculture, once unquestioned, is now at real risk of slipping away. The world isn't just buying wheat anymore, it's buying trust, transparency, and efficiency. Qualities that are now in short supply from the U.S. Without urgent change, American farmers face a future where even their best harvests go unsold, and their hard work is wasted. The silence in the heartland is deafening, a silence filled with uncertainty, frustration, and a longing for solutions. The consequences of this crisis are just beginning to unfold, and the next chapter for American agriculture remains unwritten. In Oakley, Kansas, the wheat harvest once set the town's rhythm. Every summer, the golden fields signaled hope and prosperity, drawing neighbors together in a shared purpose that defined the community's spirit. Now, the grain elevator stands quiet. The lines of trucks are gone. The hum of machinery and laughter of workers have faded, replaced by an uneasy stillness that hangs over the town. John Schmidt, a third-generation farmer, looks over his fields. Best crop in a decade. And it's just sitting there, worthless. His voice carries the weight of generations who have worked this land, now facing a crisis they never imagined. The crisis is personal. Every family in Oakley is connected to agriculture. It's not just a job, it's a way of life, woven into every tradition and memory. If farmers can't sell, local businesses suffer. The ripple effect is immediate. Shops close early, shelves go unstocked, and the sense of community begins to fray. Sarah Jenkins, at the Oakley Cafe, says, "When they're hurting, we're all hurting." The empty booths and quiet mornings are a stark reminder of how deeply everyone is connected. The emotional toll is immense. Farming is an identity, a legacy. For many, it's the only life they've ever known, and watching it unravel is heartbreaking. At the co-op meeting, farmers talk in hushed tones about loans, tuition, and the future. Conversations that once centered on weather now turn to survival and uncertainty. They feel betrayed, not by weather, but by a system that failed them. The frustration is palpable, as trust in institutions erodes. This enemy is invisible, a web of trade regulations and digital platforms. Complex rules and shifting requirements have left many feeling lost and powerless. Maria Garcia at the grain elevator says, "How do you fight a piece of paper, or the lack of one?" Her frustration echoes through the empty facility. Weeks of phone calls to exporters yield the same answer: no digital certification, no sale. The bureaucracy is relentless, and solutions seem out of reach. The town's heartbeat is fading. Each day the silence grows heavier, as hope gives way to resignation. The crisis has shattered confidence in a system they trusted. The sense of betrayal lingers long after the meeting's end. Farmers are used to battling hail or drought, not bureaucracy. Nature's challenges are familiar, but this new struggle feels insurmountable. The sense of helplessness is corrosive. It seeps into daily life, making even small tasks feel overwhelming. The local economy is stalling. With each passing week, more businesses close their doors, and the town's future dims. Young people are rethinking their futures in agriculture. Many wonder if there's a place for them here, or if they must leave to find opportunity elsewhere. The community's resilience is being tested like never before. Neighbors lean on each other, determined to endure, even as the odds mount. The silence in Oakley is a warning. It's a call for help, echoing across the plains, urging action before it's too late. Without change, rural America faces decline. The future is uncertain, but the people of Oakley still hope for a solution that will let their town thrive once again. The crisis boils down to paperwork. For decades, exporting wheat meant stacks of physical documents, certificates, reports, signatures. This system, once reliable, is now slow, error-prone, and vulnerable to fraud. Major importers modernized, demanding digital documentation and instant traceability. America failed to build a national digital infrastructure. Shipments were rejected for minor errors or lack of verifiable data. Canada and others invested in digital trade platforms. The US did not. The world lost patience with America's paper trail. The result, a multi-billion-dollar industry brought to its knees. The lesson: trust now requires technology. As American wheat was turned away from global markets, Canada saw its moment and stepped in to fill the gap. For years, Canada invested heavily in digital export systems, recognizing early on that modernization would open new doors and create opportunities others might miss. Today, buyers in Manila, Europe, and Mexico are turning to Canada for their wheat needs, drawn by the promise of quality and reliability. Ordering Canadian wheat is now as easy as tracking a package online, with real-time updates and seamless communication at every step. Buyers can instantly access digital files containing farm, seed, and shipment details, offering a level of transparency that builds trust and confidence. Canada's advanced system meets even the strictest traceability requirements effortlessly, ensuring every shipment is fully documented and verifiable. Even America's closest partners, like Mexico and South Korea, are now switching to Canadian suppliers, drawn by the ease and security of the process. Canada isn't just selling wheat, it's selling peace of mind, reliability, and a promise of quality that resonates worldwide. The secret behind this success? A unified national digital platform that connects every step of the supply chain from farm to port. Each grain shipment receives a digital identity that follows it all the way to the final buyer, ensuring complete traceability. No paperwork hassles, no costly errors, and no unnecessary delays. Just smooth, efficient transactions every time. While America remains stuck in outdated methods, Canada built a 21st century solution that set a new global standard. Global buyers now see Canada as the model of efficiency, reliability, and innovation in the wheat export industry. The US can only watch as Canada becomes the new North Star for global wheat trade, leading the way into the future. The future belongs to those who adapt, innovate, and embrace change, just as Canada has done. America's wheat export system is a maze of paper trails. Each step, farmer to elevator to exporter, creates more documents, more chances for error. Government agencies inspect and stamp papers, causing days or weeks of delay. A single typo can halt an entire shipment. The system is fragmented, with no centralized database for traceability. In today's market, that's unacceptable. Canada's system is a digital Highway 1 integrated platform, real-time tracking, instant access. Every detail, farm, seed, quality, pesticide use, is uploaded to a secure cloud. Buyers scan a QR code and see the shipment's full history. No lost documents, no delays, no doubts. Canada's approach is faster, cheaper, and more transparent. Trust is built into the system. America's paper jam is exposed. Canada's digital highway is the future. The contrast is stark and costly for the US. The world has made its choice. The wheat crisis ripples through rural America. Grain elevators can't move wheat, so they can't buy more from farmers. Small elevators face bankruptcy. Capital is tied up in unsellable inventory. Local businesses, tractor dealers, banks, diners see sales plummet. Town budgets shrink, threatening schools and services. Young people reconsider their futures in agriculture. The crisis is hollowing out communities, not just economies. Empty silos and shuttered storefronts are stark reminders of vulnerability. The cost of falling behind is visible on every main street. The rejection of American wheat by the Philippines and the EU was about trust, not politics. These countries demand transparency and safety in their food supply. America's paper-based system caused delays, lost documents, and uncertainty. When the Philippines adopted digital imports, Canada was ready. The US was not. The EU's strict traceability laws require granular data: seed, fertilizer, transport. Canada's digital platform delivers. America's does not. Buyers chose reliability and transparency over tradition. Trust must now be built into the system, not just claimed. The world wants data, not declarations. America failed to adapt and lost trust. Regaining it will be a long road. The lesson: transparency is non-negotiable. Behind the crisis are families facing the loss of their farms. A crop is more than a commodity. It's a year's work, a promise to the future. Seeing wheat sit unsold due to bureaucracy is a personal blow. Stress and uncertainty are taking a toll on mental health. Communities are fraying. Neighbors resent those who sold early. The coffee shop is now filled with tense silences. The shared identity of rural America is cracking. This is the human cost of failing to modernize. The wheat rotting in silos is a symbol of broken promises. Hard work was supposed to guarantee a place in the market. Now, that promise feels like a lie. Thousands of families are the forgotten victims. The consequences are never just economic. The wheat crisis is a wake-up call for America. Leadership in the global economy must be earned, not assumed. Our outdated systems have left us behind. The solution: a unified national digital export platform for agriculture. This requires federal leadership, investment, and collaboration. It's not just about technology, it's about changing our mindset. We must listen to global customers and embrace transparency. The future of American agriculture hangs in the balance. The unwanted harvest can be a catalyst for renewal, or a warning of decline. The choice is ours. The time to act is now.